The New York Giants just got the news that fans have been waiting for. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul, and this is Big Apple Sports. Tune in daily for news, insights, analysis, anything Giants football. This is the channel for you, so don't miss out. Take just a quick second before we get started here. Subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. We got a lot of great Giants content coming, and it should be a really fun season. So we're going to talk about all things Giants here. Don't miss out. So if you've been paying attention to the Giants this preseason, it has been a lot of fun. And it's been a rough couple years if you're a fan of the G-Men, but I feel like finally we have some hope. We have maybe a top 5 defense in the NFL. I think they will be. But the one question that's kind of been hanging over our heads is, are they going to be healthy? And today we finally get the news we've been waiting for, starting with Andrew Thomas and Malik Nabers both returned to practice. Thomas is finally off the PUP list after the injury he suffered last year. Nabers, I don't think anybody thought what he was going through was too serious, but, the longer you sit out preseason, the more you start to worry. And, this is important time for him to be gaining that rapport with Wilson and Jameis and Dart and everybody so that they kind of have a better connection once the season starts. So huge news that they are back at practice. And I think if you're a Giants fan, you obviously know how important they are. But just to quantify it, last year the Giants averaged 105 yards rushing per game and 213 passing when Andrew Thomas started. And that dropped 67 rushing yards and 114 passing yards. So totaling that up, when he started, they were at about 320 yards per game. And if you look yards per game last year's stats, that puts him, it's still the lower half. You'd like to see him a little bit higher than that, but it puts him around like the Chargers, the Saints, the Texans, the Steelers, some teams who had more respectable offenses. The way the Giants actually finished the year is down only above the Patriots and the Bears, who are both starting rookie QBs. But then, if you look at their numbers without Andrew Thomas, it's actually even below 200 total yards, which puts them well below the Bears for last place in the NFL. So, there are very few people in the entire NFL who are as important to their team as Andrew Thomas is. The offense literally went from, being close to the middle third of offenses in the NFL when he's on the field to worst by a mile when he's off the field. And then that's not even considering Malik Nabers. Last year, when he was on the field, the Giants averaged an extra half a yard every time he was on the field. And 0.4 yards is actually what it technically was. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but that adds up. And so, these are, outside of maybe the quarterback position, these are the two most important positions in the Giants lineup. And I think, honestly, these are the two most talented players on this Giants offense. So it is huge to have them back at practice. I don't think anyone was super worried. Daboll's kind of been saying the whole time that he expected them for the regular season, but to see them both back with a week to go still in the preseason, and I think we're still 2.5 weeks from the first Giants regular season game. And then the other news is Cam Skatteboo's back and taking drills too, and it sounds like he participated in a full practice today. Hamstring injuries can be tough to recover from, so it's good to see he's back and practicing. I hope we get to see him Thursday in the preseason game. I really doubt we're going to see Andrew Thomas and Malik Nabers in that game. I think Daboll knows, if they're healthy, these guys are fine. They're that good. They don't need the practice. But it would be fun to see Skatteboo in the game. And, I'd love to see him show out and, get more of a role in this offense. Because if you watched him at Arizona State, he was electric. Like, so many plays, he was turning 2-yard gains into 50-yard gains, and got really good hands, had a lot of, I know they love to send him on like wheel routes and stuff, and I think, he doesn't have the breakaway speed that you would necessarily want, and I don't know if I ever see him being, a 25 touch per game guy, but I think he's a really unique player who has a very wide variety of skill sets, and you can use him in ways that I don't think you can really use Tyrone Tracy or Devin Singletary. So it's good to see that he's healthy, and I hope he gets to play Thursday and balls out and starts to get a good role in this offense, because I think he's going to be a really fun player to watch. But Giants fans, let me hear from you. Which one of these three guys, I assume it's probably which one of these two guys, Neighbors or Thomas, do you think you're most excited to see back at practice? Drop me some predictions for this season. I always enjoy hearing from you guys. And gosh, this offense is really starting to take shape. They've been super impressive in the preseason, even without their two best players. I think we've seen this is the deepest the Giants' O-line has been in years, and frankly, I hope to God that Andrew Thomas is back now and doesn't miss any time this year, but he has struggled with injury. So seeing guys like Marcus Bowe play really well, seeing, Evan Neal, he hasn't been perfect, but he's transitioned to guard pretty nicely and seems like he can at least be competent there. And I think Illuminor has done a pretty decent job at right tackle. There's actual depth on this line that I don't think they're going to be decimated if they don't have Andrew Thomas every game. But obviously, Andrew Thomas just takes them to that next level. And maybe this, instead of just a functioning offensive line this year, maybe we could actually see a good one. I would love to see that. And I think this Giants team is getting scary. Even Giants haters have to admit that this D-line is special. And the way they're going to be able to rush the passer, plus, the Paulson Adebo in the secondary, I think the secondary is going to be much better this year. This is a top 5 defense. It's got the talent to be the number 1 defense in the NFL. We'll see what happens when they actually get on the field. But if this offense can step it up and be, last year they finished third to last, but with Thomas, like I said, they were around the 20 range. If they could bump that up into the 10 to 15 range, you pair that with an elite defense, and this is a team that can make a deep run into the playoffs. And then the way Jackson Dart's looking, he just raises that ceiling even higher. So fun times ahead for Giants Nation. We're going to be talking about it all football season this year, so don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button on your way out, and we will catch you with some more Giants content next time.